Hello, my name's Victoria Cornwall. I'm going to read you a short story. It was the first short story I wrote for my publisher Chocolate for their chocolate treat fiction, The Gift. The familiar notes stir my soul and bring me to my senses, whilst a hunter's moon casts a silvery light on the Georgian building in front of me. It is imposing, but despite the late hour, I feel no fear. As a new bride, I fell in love with this great house the first time I saw it. I've walked its polished floors and looked out its lead-framed windows many times. It was me who planted the flowering wisteria, which now adorns its outer walls. I've laughed and loved in those rooms until, one day, without warning, I left, abandoning my child and the only man I ever loved. Tonight, by way of a simple tune wafting through an open window, the old house is calling me home. A movement catches my eye and I see his silhouette in the window. The house is not the only one waiting for my return. To my relief, the hall remains unchanged. I feel ashamed for feeling this way, as it may mean that my husband remains locked in his despair that I left him in. I climb the staircase lined with his ancestors. They look down on me from their gilt frames as I slowly follow the musical notes of the blue Danube to the first floor. The sight of my portrait gives me courage to continue on. The carpet is newer here, and the rooms are subtly changed. A female has cast her magic touch across the decor. I feel out of date, unwanted and no longer missed. The door to his study is ajar, and for the first time I feel afraid. I've not seen him for 25 years. Once I knew him better than I knew myself, yet now he is a stranger to me. I falter. I knew you would come. His voice sounds just the same, and the emotions clog my throat. I remain hidden behind the door, unable to move. I know you are there, Rowena. Come in and let me see you. I have no choice but to enter. Even now, after all these years, I'm drawn to this man. He looks as handsome as the day I left. I nervously touch my hair, wondering how I must look to him. He sees my concern. You look as beautiful as I remember, he says. I see softness in his eyes, and I cannot help but return his smile. The tuneful notes slow as the music box finally runs down. I reach out and touch the treasure on his desk. You still have the music box? I'd always loved his 24th birthday gift to me. The tune was our first dance. Its haunting melody always touched something deep inside me. My husband often said it had the power to wake me from the deepest of sleep. Happy birthday. I look up surprised. I'd forgotten it was my birthday today. I wish you'd not left us, he adds. The sadness in his voice is almost the undoing of me. I look into his eyes, which hold 1,000 stories, none of which I was present to share. What seems like only yesterday to me, I realise, was been an eternity for him. A silence descends between us, and I know he waits for the inevitable. I try to resist twisting the knife, but cannot help it. How is she? I blurt out. My husband closes the music box as he considers his reply. It cannot be easy to find the right words to discuss the woman who caused our parting. Her name's Elizabeth. The sound of her name is painful to hear. I move to the window and look out on the tranquil gardens below. What is she like? I ask quietly. My husband sighs. She's witty, beautiful, and a joy in my life. I wince at his words. The pain was increased 100 times. I turn to look at him. Does she know about me? Yes, I've told her all about you. Does she hate me? Richard shakes his head slowly. She's no reason to hate you. I take a deep, shaky breath. Is she happy? He nods. Does she understand that it was not her fault I left? He nods again, as if he was reassured me 1,000 times before in his dreams. Strangely, as quiet frustration calms my frayed nerves, I needed to know that my daughter is happy, and it seems that she is. My mind wanders back to the day I left, a time I want to remember and forget in equal measures. 25 years ago, I held my beautiful newborn daughter for the first time. For a few precious moments, I looked into her dark blue eyes and felt her soft skin against my own. I kissed her damp head and promised to love her forever. And then my dreams came crashing to an end. Unbeknown to me, my life's blood had begun to seep onto the white cotton sheets beneath. Soon the bed linen could no longer mask my demise. In the midst of chaos and confusion, my daughter was taken from my arms. I fought to stay, but quickly grew weak. I'd given my husband the gift of a daughter, and my daughter Elizabeth the gift of life. Yet within the hour I had left them both. The garden blurs before my eyes. Why did you play the music box, Richard? Because I am ready, he says, matter-of-factly. Our daughter is now married, and has a husband to love and protect her. She no longer needs me. I have conflicting emotions, both pleased and disappointed at the same time. Then it is time, I say, offering him my hand. I see no fear in my husband's eyes as I take his in my hand. He has waited for this moment for as long as I have. We smile and finally feel complete. I hope you enjoyed it. It's a very sad tale, but it sort of has a happy ending. If you'd like to read my books, I write the Cornish Tales series. They can be bought from all online retail sites, both an ebook and audiobook, and some in paperback. As I said, my name is Victoria Cornwall, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.